Ninja Online, guys. Welcome to This Is the Police. Now, this is a game that I've had my eyes on for a while. I've never played it. I've never really seen anything on it, but I've seen it in the Steam store page at some point or another a long time ago, and I thought it would be a pretty cool game to enjoy and to play and all that. And yeah, here we are. One of my friends gifted it to me for my birthday, so thank you, Stap. I really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's jump into the story here and see where we end up. Day 1, July 15th, Monday. What do we got? City Hall confirms rumors of Jack Boyd's resignation. Mayor Rogers, sex maniac. Mark War 2 to be shown in Freiburg the day before the worldwide premiere by the mayor's personal request. Let's go to work.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freiburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same: play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
Good morning. Yesterday, the mayor's office officially announced your resignation. Did this come as a surprise, or did you know about it in advance? The mayor discussed it with me. Mayor Rogers told me that once a fresh face running Freiburg PD, so no, it didn't come as a surprise. Do you already know the name of your successor? Of course not, and I don't think the mayor's office knows who it is either. After the recent corruption scandal, your deputy, Francis Kendrick, said he was looking forward to resigning. If the mayor offered him your position, would that change his mind? The mayor offered him... He's made up his mind to leave. I don't see anything affecting that decision. Although Kendrick was acquitted, many still believe that the police are cooperating with the mafia. Do you have anything to say about this? Excuse me, but that's a pile of horseshit. The mafia and the police working together? Maybe they're in cahoots with the aliens. The mafias are a bunch of low-life criminals. How about someone ask a real question? Do you think your personal relationship with the mayor could be the reason behind your retirement? That's just not possible. Mayor Rogers is a true professional and he makes his decisions carefully. There's no place in our jobs for hard feelings. Thank you.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick. As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me. I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man."
I'll do my best.
"And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon."
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
Fucking hilarious. What an amazing fucking time. Day 2, July 16th, Tuesday. Call the man. Obviously, we didn't know what he was doing in the time, but still, that's hilarious. Alright, what do we got today? Head of Culture Department owns villa in Italy. Francis Kendrick could replace Jack Boyd. Not likely. Jack Boyd confirms police cooperation with the mafia.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eating here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
Would you like to receive tips about how the game works? Show me what you got. Freeburg PD organizes upcoming work assignments into shifts for today and tomorrow. Every shift, officers respond to crimes in progress, and detectives continue their investigations. You can freely move employees between shifts. All officers and detectives possess several important characteristics. Professionalism shows the overall efficiency level of your policeman. A figure around 150 is considered average. Any policeman who falls short of this mark is not entirely reliable, while those whose professionalism is considerably higher than average are a safe bet. Even in a pinch, an individual's level of professionalism may rise and fall over the course of their career. Energy shows how tired your policemen are. The less energy your people have, the less reliable their work, and a policeman who is exhausted might fall asleep at the wheel or make a critical error on the job. Your employees lose 1 point of energy after each working day and restore 1 point after each day of rest. Your employees don't tell you everything. Some additional characteristics are hidden from view. For instance, some cops are lazy and will come up with any reason that they can think of to take the day off, while others like to drink too much. You can only guess about these things, but you should be able to draw your own conclusions based on the behavior of your employees. Okay, I don't have anything that I have to actually do there. Wasn't sure. Alright, responding to calls is the bread and butter of police work. You'll need to send an officer to the crime scene before the timer expires. A mark on the map shows where the call came from. The further away the destination is from the police station, the longer it will take your officers to travel back and forth. So the longer your people will be tied up and unavailable for upcoming work. That makes sense, obviously. Hit and run at the Everyday Mall. The easiest way to determine how difficult a task might be is to check how many units are allowed to send on the call. The more units you can send, the more serious the alleged threat. Particular risky missions give you the option of sending SWAT, but they must be accompanied by at least one officer. The number of slots is not the only thing to consider. Any available information from the location of the crime scene to the presence of weapons and so on, all of this can tell you how seriously each case should be taken. Mission might look simple at first glance, but until it turns into a brutal meat grinder, or a serious call can come in which turns out to be a false alarm. Okay, so we have a hit and run at the Everyday Mall. A married couple exited a convenience store and saw a van in the parking lot back over a homeless man who'd been digging through a trash can. The driver jumped out to help, but once he saw that he'd hit a bum, he got back into the van and drove away quickly. I think we should send Price on this. And Tsubaki. What we got here? Fight. The Last Picture Show Theater. The theater manager reports that during a showing of Citizen Kane, a drunk man attempted to force his way into the theater carrying a snowboard decorated with the word Rosebud, of course. When he was denied entry, he violently attacked the cashier and is currently fighting with the theater's security guard. Send Purdy and Austin to deal with that. So yeah, the biggest thing about this game is it's more like a management sim than anything else. We have to balance making funds, dealing with calls, and all that stuff. Run report. When everything goes well, the police capture the criminals and nobody dies. But the truth is, sometimes the criminal managed to escape. Just try to avoid any dead cops or civilians. Dead cops will hurt your roster, and dead citizens bother the mayor even more than the living ones. Offender escaped. Officers unharmed. Lost 10 rep points. That's fine.
She's just a dancing queen.
Offender caught. Officers unharmed. Civilians unharmed. Good work, guys. Well, we got that. Armed robbery in the suburb. 3 teenagers armed with a shotgun robbed the videotape store and made off with their whole collection of adult movies. The criminals fled in the car, but the store manager wrote down the car's license plate. The owner is one Janet Brown, who lives in the suburbs. Let's send the more experienced people to deal with this, because that's kind of a big deal. Armed robbery. What is this? Johnson, Jurgen, and Katz law firm. There's a fight. A brother and sister clash with each other over their deceased father's will, according to one of the lawyers. We don't dare separate them, and our security guard is off duty. Let's leave it for now. Alright, let's send Tsubaki and Asano to go out and deal with that. Price is staying put on site here. Ghetto. Assault in the ghetto. A passerby saw some teenagers attack an elderly musician, then ran away with his guitar and his money. I don't need 3 on this. I'll send Purdy and Austin. Direct orders. When your cops aren't sure how to proceed, they might contact you and ask you to handle the situation. Try to deal with whatever comes up and don't waste all your time on this stuff. You have plenty of other problems on your plate. Alright, this is about the armed robbery in the suburbs. The vehicle in question is parked right outside the Brown residence. The sounds of moaning and loud laughter can be heard through the living room window. Turn on the siren and loudspeaker and shout that the house is surrounded. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. That's good. I didn't want to send them into a risky situation, obviously. Something we don't want to do. Report about that fight. Offender escaped. Officers unharmed. That's fine. That was the law firm fight, right? Yeah. Report about the assault in the ghetto. Offenders escaped, but the officers are unharmed. Again, good. We'll wait for the officers to get back, and then we'll end the day here. Okay. Overtime. If you think you'll need a couple of extra hands tomorrow, you can order any cop to come in and work overtime. But if they're working flat out, they'll be much more exhausted. Somebody's bound to make a mistake. Shift A is all at home. This is Shift B. Yeah, we should be good.
Used to be when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years, he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point, every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand. Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
Day 3, July 17th, Wednesday. Francis Kendrick announces retirement date. Construction of Cinema Museum postponed again. Legendary singer Gennaro Crespo comes to Freeburg. When a police officer is too tired to be effective, he will ask for a day off. Sometimes officers will request days off even when they're at full strength. Some of the reasons you'll hear are far-fetched, while some are very serious. Don't overindulge your subordinates, but don't antagonize them either. Remember that everyone's got secrets, and you've got to make sure these guys have your back. Roy, my mother was just hit by a car. She's been rushed to the hospital, and she's fighting for her life. I should be with her. Can I miss this shift? Yeah. In addition to their performance ratings, police officers also possess ranks. Employees begin at the lowest rank and can be elevated in rank with 1, 2, or 3 stripes. Once a week, you can pass out stripes and improve the rank of any employee. If you think that no one is worthy of the honor some week, you can postpone the ceremony until later. Insignias won't go out until your people are ready. Employees of rank not only increase in professionalism, but also learn to command. Whenever a ranking officer is on the scene, his or her colleagues are more likely to perform better than usual. Sometimes when cops get rank, cops gets rank, they start thinking more seriously about their service. This can mean less drinking and more time spent on the job. Some of them might even turn out to be dependable. This might not be native English, because I don't know. The way some of this is worded just doesn't strike me as, you know, I don't think it's just bad wording. Freiburg isn't one of those cities where you listen to what they say or nothing at all. You can always select any song from your collection and play it at any time, just like in real life. Well, the life of your grandfather anyways. We'll start with that one. Sweet Ginger Green, Purse Pickering Ragtime 5. There we go. Hiring and firing. Let's learn how to hire and fire cops. You have a certain number of paid job openings for which you can hire any available applicant. Job slots are separated between officers and detectives. Want to free up a slot? Time to fire somebody. Bye, Roy. If you have legal grounds for the termination, no one will ask any questions. You might need to fire them anyway. Legality be damned. But that could land you in additional proceedings, and your other staff will become more worried about keeping the jobs than they are about actually doing the jobs. Another way to free up a slot is to have a police officer killed, but that's not really a valid option, right?
Now that we've met, I'll get sweet ginger green.
So we can fire illegally or fire illegally. I think we'll fire illegally. They are pretty old.
I know just what they mean. Gotta be bold, oh sweet ginger green. She's sweeter than soup. And Georgia Brown beats Lulu too.
What do we got today? Vandalism at St. John's Cathedral. I received a frightening call from the local cathedral this morning. The abbot discovered that someone entered the old cemetery during the night. The old yard's tombstones are painted with satanic symbols, and some have been broken into pieces. It seems there are even marks from a shovel, but the abbot won't say no more. Okay. Send those two. Doesn't seem to be high priority. Vandalism at Atticus Tower. Businessman Harley Jones, looking out his window, saw two teenagers scratching offensive slogans onto his new car. I have one cop slot and one detective slot. Let's hire you. Here be. I just took someone off my shift, right? Fred Gilbert. I don't remember where we hired him for.
She can shimmy like Sister Kate. She's just a dancing queen.
I don't know if we actually need another detective right now, so let's
Sweet ginger swing,
sit on it.
ginger green.
Suspicious individuals at Eddie's Burgers. A waitress named Mila reports that she just served a chicken, Eddie, and a Diet Coke to a dangerous criminal who she'd seen on television just this morning. The culprit is sitting at the window eating a burger. Send in some good people for that one. In case it appears to be true. These people absolutely suck, these low-level people. False alarm. The waitress had mistaken retired officer Frank Nero for the fugitive in question. Sam Sorkin, King Louis nightclub. Mr. Boyd, my bouncer stuffed himself with Mexican food again, and now he can't get off the can. Meantime, the line outside the club is stretching around the block. We need someone inside who can tell the cool guys from the punks. I'll send Robbins. We'll see how he fares. Kind of a slow day today, that's for sure. Never know if that's a good thing or bad thing, though. Drug sales. Christopher G. Sands Ice Arena. An anonymous caller came in a clown carrying balloons at the skating rink is selling crack to teenagers. Sorry, Chief, but I quit. In one night, I pulled in more cash than I earned in a month working at this dump. Mr. Sorkin said he wouldn't mind taking me on. I guess I just wasn't cut out to be a cop. Thank you, Sam Sorkin. Thanks for your help, Mr. Boyd. 4,500.